The roar of the helicopter blades echoed through the humid air. We were finally here, the heart of the Amazon, our mission to study and survive alongside some of the planet's most incredible creatures. Elena, our fearless leader, gave us a quick nod. Jack, our resident herpetologist, and Maria, our wildlife photographer, were ready. We disembarked into a world painted in every shade of green imaginable. The air was thick with humidity and alive with the symphony of the jungle. Insects buzzed, birds called out in strange melodies, and unseen creatures rustled in the undergrowth. Here, danger lurked around every corner, and the line between life and death could be as thin as a spider's silk. We were not here to conquer the jungle, but to learn from it and respect its power. Our first steps on the jungle floor were tentative. We had to move cautiously, aware that we were entering the domain of creatures that had called this place home for millennia. We made our way to a winding river, its surface reflecting the emerald canopy above. The air was thick with humidity, the silence broken only by the calls of unseen birds and the rustling of leaves.
Always be aware of your surroundings. The Amazon is a master of disguise.
We moved along the riverbank, our eyes scanning the water's edge. Suddenly Jack froze, his gaze fixed on something ahead.
What is it?
I don't like it. It looks like a log.
Maria sounded unsure, but this was no ordinary log. As we approached cautiously, the sheer scale of the creature became horrifyingly clear. It was an anaconda, a giant among serpents, easily over 20 feet long. Its massive muscular body lay coiled at the water's edge, blending seamlessly with the muddy bank. Its scales glistened like polished jade in the dappled sunlight, and its cold, reptilian eyes watched us with an unnerving intensity.
Back away slowly. No sudden movements.
We obeyed instantly, our hearts pounding in our chests. The anaconda, sensing our retreat, slowly uncoiled its massive body and slipped silently into the murky water. The encounter with the anaconda was a stark reminder of the raw power that pulsed beneath the surface of this seemingly tranquil world. We continued our trek, our senses on high alert. We reached a secluded lagoon, its surface shimmering under the midday sun.
Jack, why don't you take some water samples here?
Jack nodded, unpacking his equipment with practiced efficiency. He waded into the shallows, his movements cautious but assured. As he bent to collect a sample, the water around him erupted in a frenzy of churning water and snapping jaws. Hundreds of piranhas, their silver scales flashing in the sunlight, swarmed the spot where Jack had been standing just moments before. Jack stumbled backward, his heart pounding in his chest.
Always be vigilant. Even the smallest creatures can pose a threat if you underestimate them.
The piranhas, their frenzy subsiding as quickly as it had begun, disappeared back into the depths of the lagoon. We were left with a chilling silence. The day wore on, the jungle heat pressing down on us like a suffocating blanket. We were exhausted, our clothes soaked with sweat, but the adrenaline of our close encounters kept us moving forward.
Look!
Maria exclaimed, her voice filled with awe. She pointed toward a cluster of bright green leaves. Perched on a broad leaf, its vibrant colors a stark contrast to the surrounding foliage, sat a tiny frog. It was no bigger than my thumbnail, but its skin was a dazzling mosaic of bright yellow, blue, and black.
It's beautiful.
Don't let its beauty fool you. That, my friends, is a poison dart frog. One touch from its skin can be lethal.
We stared at the tiny frog, marveling at its delicate beauty and the deadly secret it held within its skin. We moved on, the image of the frog lingering in our minds. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows through the jungle, we knew it was time to head back to the relative safety of our base camp. We were exhausted, our bodies drained by the day's adventures and the oppressive heat.
We had stared into the eyes of an anaconda, felt the chilling terror of a piranha attack, and marveled at the deadly beauty of a poison dart frog.
We had faced the challenges of the jungle and emerged thankfully unscathed.
As we trudged back through the undergrowth, the air thick with the sounds of the jungle coming alive for the night, we couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. But we pressed on, our pace quickening as darkness enveloped the jungle. Back at base camp, we collapsed onto our makeshift benches, exhausted but unable to sleep. The events of the day replayed in our minds, a stark reminder of the power and fragility of life in this extraordinary ecosystem.
The Amazon is a harsh mistress, but she is also a wise teacher, if you're willing to listen.
We sat in silence contemplating her words, the weight of the day's experiences settling upon us. The jungle symphony lulled us into a restless sleep, filled with strange dreams and the lingering scent of damp earth and exotic flowers. When we woke, the first rays of dawn were painting the sky in hues of orange, pink and gold.
We stepped out of our tents, our bodies stiff and sore, but our spirits lifted by the sight of the sun rising over the emerald canopy.
We were about to face another day in the heart of the green Inferno, another day of challenges and discoveries.
But for now, we allowed ourselves a moment of peace, a moment to appreciate the breathtaking beauty of this untamed wilderness. As we prepared for the day ahead, packing our equipment and checking our supplies, I couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. The jungle was a place of secrets, a place where danger lurked around every corner.
We had come to the Amazon seeking adventure, and we had found it. But we had also learned a valuable lesson: respect for the wild.
The Amazon rainforest was not a playground for thrill seekers. It was a sacred place, a vital part of our planet's ecosystem, and it deserved our utmost respect and protection. As we ventured back into the jungle, our senses on high alert, we carried with us a newfound appreciation for the delicate balance of life that existed within its emerald embrace. We knew that we were mere visitors in this wild and unforgiving realm, and we were determined to tread lightly, to observe without disturbing, and to leave nothing behind but footprints.